What up, world? It's the Super Fast Show, Super Fast Network. It's your boy Mark Waldo Ward. We got with us today on the release of his new song, Bottom of the Trap, featuring IveWear Vezzo Est Gee. My man Hardo from Pittsburgh. How you doing, brother?
What up, man? I'm good, man. We here. What's up with you, my guy?
Chilling, chilling. Man, I guess what this Friday, and I don't be knowing the motherfucking dates and shit. Friday, March 4th. And what y'all put that song out last night?
No, we've actually put it out. Been going on 3 weeks now.
Oh, for real? Damn, the way
Yeah, yep.
when I was looking at it today on social media, as many motherfuckers was talking about it on Twitter and Instagram. I thought that shit
Yeah,
just came out today.
yeah. It's just people talking about it every day. Like, and now I'm running around, just going to different markets. So when I'm getting in people's face with it, it's just bringing new energy every day. So once I throw it, like I go to a different city, you know, rub shoulders, shake hands and do all that, meet people. Then I post the song back up tomorrow. So all them new people that don't follow my social media, they seeing it fresh in their face. You feel me? So to them, it's brand new, but it's been about like 3 weeks.
Oh, but see, you a hustler for real, because I feel like too many people just throw that shit out there and try to see what sticks. But like man, you got work shit. I know you heard of Guns N' Roses. You know the Appetite, the album that had like Sweet Child of Mine and all that shit on it.
I ain't sure with the albums, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
Appetite for Destruction. But that shit was out for like a year before it hit. It wasn't until they got a song placed on the Terminator 2 soundtrack that they blew the fuck up. It only sold like 30,000 copies for the first year, but they kept working that shit. And I be thinking how many rappers done made the rap equivalent of Appetite for Destruction, but then worked that shit for a year. And it got lost in the mixtape era, got lost in the blog era, got lost in the streaming. You feel me though?
Mm-hmm. No, straight up. That's how I feel. Like I'm working my shits now. Like, cause I fell in that little space at first. Like, I might put out something if I don't get the right, reaction. I move on. But now I'm back to the real grind. I'm pushing the record 4 to 6 months because it's new to everybody until everybody hear it. You feel me? So like I'm back on that. Like I'm a push it to the wheels fall off and get in their face with it.
I mean, yeah, if you got a good product and it ain't moving here, then you just take it somewhere the fuck else. You don't just take it as a loss. I think sometimes because of Pro Tools and shit now, back in the day, you used to have to pay way more to make a song. I think because shit's easier, motherfuckers treat the shit like it's more disposable.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely what it is. That's definitely the fact. It's just you can just upload tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And then move on to the next. And now it causing like, all attention spans to be short. That's why like long albums don't work. That's why like EPs is better. Having a project with like 10 joints is just like it's too much shit for people to consume today that you got to keep it short and sweet and impactful though. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm.
Yo, but speaking about hustling, you make no bones about it, and your EPK and everything. You did time for serving an undercover. I too did time for serving an undercover, brother. And I would like to trade stories. So you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
I want to hear your story, man. Tell me about it.
All right, so I'm from the DC area, PG County, and I got nabbed up in Virginia on some shit. Did a little bit of time. And when I came back, my parole necessitated, or probation. I got at this point, I made it to probation, and it necessitated I had to stay in Virginia. So I was still living in Virginia, and I had actually stopped selling drugs for like a year when I was about to go out of town to Black Bike Week, Myrtle Beach, and this chick hits me up, and this fucking girl was passed out drunk at a party. And I kept these motherfucking frat boys, and I'd never really been much around white people other than my family before. I kept these frat boy motherfuckers from raping this broad. And she had got nabbed up. This dumb bitch bought a fucking gun from a dude in Southeast DC, which is where like they had open air drug markets. So like suburban kids would drive through and cop shit. That's basically where I grew up at. And she bought a gun from out that motherfucker. She takes a criminal justice class. On the first day of class, she loudly says where her ex-FBI agent teacher hears her about how she can get thousands of e-pills. So by you know how college be like, you be having Monday, Wednesday, Friday classes or Tuesday, Thursday classes.
Yeah.
So if her job was a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, by Wednesday, they had an undercover up in that motherfucking class. Make a long story short, they nab her ass up with like 5,000 e-pills or some shit. And not only does that, she got the gun she bought out from motherfucking Southeast, and the shit got like 7 bodies on it.
Oh man.
And this like a little white girl that's like 19, can't weigh more than 90 pounds. And let me reiterate, I kept her from getting fucking gang raped.
Yeah, like you helped her out.
And she knew about this shit. So I guess they hitting her with all kinds of pressure. So I'm about to go out of town, and she hits me up. Like I you know, I think we might even still have pages, bro. I might add like the cell phone without the pictures. And she's like, yo, can you give me a pound? And I was with my man who was doing that type shit. So I could, but I wasn't really trying to fuck with it. So I quoted some outrageous price. And this is where my dumb ass fucked up, being greedy.
She agreed to it.
Right. And I come and I meet her, and dog, I got the hammer on me and all that shit. And she got a dude in the car. She told me it was a dude that wanted to buy the junk. And he looked like such a motherfucking gump. I was about to just take the money, maybe even without pulling the gun out. And he was a motherfucker undercover detective. So they don't lock me up until like a year later. I have no idea what the fuck they're locking me up for. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm in jail, make bail. I'm like, what the? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I learned mad shit during time. I filed a motion of discovery because I figured, why wait for the public defender? Why pay for that shit? And so they had to give me that shit at my preliminary hearing. And plus, I seen the detective in there, so I figured out what was going on. But that was my story of serving an undercover. Oh, and I sold to Bama a pound of weed, which in Virginia was a felony I'm sure it still is.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mine was like along the same lines of I was trapping. I usually don't even like move at nighttime, you know what I'm saying? Because at this time I'm young, we selling the dope fiends and shit, you know what I'm saying? But like we dealing with like, a lot of like, white people coming into our community who's, bad for top dollar and stuff like that. But they usually only come early in the day for heroin and stuff like that.
So, I wonder why.
Straight up. So it's crazy. My car just got shot up, so I wasn't driving this night. My aunt don't never let me use her car. She lived down the street. This is the first night ever, when I mean in my life, that I ever called and asked to use her car, and she said yes. And it's around midnight. One of my moves called me, and this is when like a brick of heroin, which is like 50 stand bed, was going for like $400. You know what I'm saying? So he's telling me he'll pay me like $15 a bed. So like 657, something just way higher than the norm if I meet him at night around now. So that's why I'm trying to get the rad so I can go down meet him down by his place. And my aunt let me use the car, and he ended up setting me up for the heroin or whatever I got down there. As soon as I parked, told him what I was in, a bunch of undercovers came and swarmed me. But I was already just out on a bond from another heroin case where I got pulled over, but I ran from the police, but they found the heroin. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up going to this. So I had both cases at the same time. And I ended up, I was out on bond for a while. And this is what really helped my music career go, because I initially, if you go check the dates, July 2011, I dropped a video, Cut Though. This is the first drill video where it's like, a bunch of weapons and all this shit you see today. Like, it's the first of its kind. If you go look it up, you will never find nothing dated before this. So I was out on bond for this case. I had shot that video, and I had court like a month later where I went in for sentencing to do my 2 to 4 year sentence. This one, World Star, was big. So, and I wasn't even like no popping rapper or none of that. I just shot the video, put it out, went to jail. Next thing you know, it was on World Star. And it was like Pittsburgh man went to jail for a music video. And it was viral all over the internet. So when I'm calling home, everybody like, yo, that video you shot is like all over the internet, but people's trying to act like you went to jail for it. It even made the news and all that. Like, know what I'm saying? And which the news should already know. Like, I'm not even in jail for this, but they're even promoting this shit like as if this video is like a reason I'm locked up. And it like brought me all this like national attention. So when I came home in 2013, I already had a buzz. Plus the music I used to record at Mac Miller's where he blew up. His name is Deezlee. We used to ride this school bus and everything. Like, we're in the same school picture books and all that, like same classes. Like that was my man like that. So when I came home, he like, bro, the first day I was in the halfway house, he hit me on social media. That's when Twitter was like the main thing everybody was on. I was new to Instagram. Instagram wasn't even around when I went to jail, but it was there when I came home. So he had hit me on Twitter like, is this really you? Call me, like. And I hit him, and he's just like, bro, I told you back then you should have been start rapping this, that, and the third. And as soon as I got out the halfway house, he flew me straight to LA. I went back to jail for that because I went to LA without permission. But that's how like everything started with the music. And that's how my first case that I caught with the heroin was those 2 cases. And then in 13, I was piped up. You know, I came back home from my violation. Be right like 2 weeks before I came home my violation, T.I was looking for me. So I'm calling home my peoples who got my passwords, my little manager and all that. He like, yo, T.I's trying to reach out. Like, so we call him on a 3-way from jail. Like, and I'm letting you know, y'all got 2 weeks left. And he like, man, hit me soon as you can get out. Like, so I hit Tip, came home, I'm piped up, Tip and Mac both, you know, on my shoulders, helping me with everything. You feel me? But Joey IE reaches out, Interscope. They want to do a deal. So I'm bringing Tip and Mac in on my situation. You feel me? I'm just like, you know, they've been so real with me. I ain't cutting them out. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving them a percent of what I got going on to basically be my mentors and, you know, advertise me. But I'm not signed to them, but I'll promote their labels. You know what I'm saying? I'll promote it like I'm with Grand Hustle and all this, that, and the third, though I'm not. And literally, we went to see Joey. Tip flew out. We all flew out. He like, I'm going to draw something up. He want to do it for sure. I get back home. I fly back to Pittsburgh the next day. My homies had wanted to go to the club. You know, we young, we beefing. It's all type of shit, man. And I usually go out. It's the first night. I'm like, you know what? Tell the homies, like, I don't even want to go out. It's just too much to risk. You know, I got the deal. Let's fall back. Like, they like, no, bro, let's go turn up. It's on. Like, let's go out. You about to blow all. And I'm like, I'm chilling. So I stayed in. They went out. So my homie just happens to leave his car at my crib. He like, oh, I'm going to jump in with another homie. I'm going to just leave the car here. And he left his keys, which, you know, this never happens. Usually they take all their cars. He at least took his keys. So at the end of the night, I get the call. Somebody, you know, was waiting outside with an AK-47. End up killing him coming out the club. So I jump in his car, gets pulled over. Bricks of heroin all in the car, and I don't even know until like when the cop, I ain't have my license, he pulled me out. I'm like, listen, I tell him off top though. I'm like, so as he pulled me, I'm like, listen, I just got a call. You know, my man just got killed. I'm in his car. I don't got my license. Go ahead. I already know y'all gonna search it. The police know me already. So I'm like, go ahead. I know y'all gonna search it. Just please let me take the car afterwards so I could go see what's going on. So I'll comply. So when he cuffed me, I asked him off top, like, damn, what, I got a warrant for my arrest? And he like, no, you know what you do. You still doing the same shit. Like, so what helped me beat the case was the cop was honest during his testimony and in an affidavit that I stated all these things before he pulled me out and after. And I had my lawyer file for us to get my DNA swabs. Cause he like, if you didn't touch it, like we should take your DNA. Cause I didn't like your DNA will be on the bag, the wrapping, the tape, something. Yeah. Know what I'm saying? So
but if you ain't have no motherfucker, my fault to interrupt you, but anybody listening to this, but if this man ain't have no money, if he had just had a public defender, there ain't no budget, there ain't no budget for none of that shit. And that'd be another innocent person in jail.
101%. If it wasn't for the fact that I had a couple dollars to get an attorney, I'd have been in jail. Probably still right now because I was going to trial and already got 2 convictions. Like I told you, remember I had the 1 dope case in the second. I'm young.
So hold on. The first one stuck? The one where they didn't catch it on you? Because that's why I was gonna ask you.
I took a plea. I was young, 18. I just got these court hearings. I didn't even hire a public defender. I'm just showing up to the courthouse.
Right.
You know, they get a plea, 3 years probation. Here, let me sign that. Whole time I'm signing off on a felony.
Yeah, and that's the biggest trap in the world. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Next thing you know,
that first felony, they man, anybody listen to this, you ask Hardo, that first motherfucking felony, they like to get that away with no time, and you think you're getting over on something. You be much better off doing time on a misdemeanor than doing probation on a felony.
Literally, that's the whole setup. So I was out on 2 bonds. The first hearing came for the first one. signed off probation. Second one came, I took my time. Now I got 2 felonies on my record. In the same year at 18, 2 felonies for the same thing that already got me on a status to where I could damn near be a career criminal. I'm on my 3rd dope case. Like, I got paper, so if I lose this case, I got to do my back time plus my new time. So now I'm in jail for 10 years because of what I did at 18 and for the innocent shit. But luckily, I ended up getting found not guilty. And what's crazy, my lawyer was already paid. And I called my attorney, Mac Miller, already done cut my lawyer a check for 10 grand. Tip already done gave my manager 5 grand, even though it was paid. I kept the money, but yeah, like that's like how everything started. So then I came home from that case after I beat it. It took me 2 years, so I ain't come home until like damn near 2015, and then I went back to jail again and had to max out my state number the last 8 months. So like since 16 is when I really been home free and really focused and handling my business.
Word. So like I've been doing this shit in some shape, form, or fashion for a minute. I know exactly who you are for about almost a decade. You was like I guess since 2011, because I got like $175 freelance assignment to write about that Pittsburgh rapper shit. I actually put in there.
Oh, okay.
The shit had nothing to do with the case. I'll see if I can find the link. But
that's dope as hell.
But the musically, I think you were the first person. See, I used to work with this dude Tree, and he got put on this MTV artist to watch list in like 2012, right? Mm-hmm. And the only other artist you would have heard on it was Young Thug, and or maybe it's 2013. I can't remember what year, but I'd never heard of Young Thug at the time, right? So when I went to look for his music, the first thing I found was a song he made with you.
Yeah, me and Thug, we ain't had no music together. But what was crazy, it was like Mac, I was going to bring up the Thug stuff because Mac was dealing with Thug around 13 when I first got back out before he blew up. So like them two, it was like me and him never got.
Hey, somebody might have made a blend, Joe, because there's a Joan out there with you, Mac Miller and Young Thug that says 2013.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, somebody probably made a blend because Mac was. I remember coming home and he was like, yo, I got to link you with my homie in Atlanta, Young Thug, and all this, that, and the third and stuff. It was before he blew up. And I remember even going out there dealing with a shorty, and she know I do music, and she like, whatever you do, there's this little rapper who's starting to pop up out here. Don't go around him. He's shady, like. And she was talking about Thug. Like, it was crazy because his name, like, I kept hearing it in the streets, like, more on some gangster shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I tell a lot of people, like, people be thinking, because the way he dressed and all this, like, no, Thug got that real respect in Atlanta. Like, motherfuckers really fear dude. And I knew this, I swear to God, before he was famous. Like I said, a little shorty, little bitch told me, like, man, please, whatever you do, don't go link with Thug. Like, and she meant it, like, as if this nigga was going to kidnap me or something just for going to go work with him and shit. You know what I'm saying? But, yeah, no, we ain't never had nothing together. But then during that time, T.I, when I went back,
that's what I was gonna say, because like then I super thought that was an official song because I heard him shout you out on the T.I song about Free Hardo.
Yeah, yup, that was down the line. That was after I was dealing with T.I and all that. When I went back that time with all the dope in the car.
Man, I gotta send you a link to that song because that shit sound like y'all made it together. That shit, whoever blended that shit, they did a hella good job.
Definitely send that through.
Yeah, nah. Well, I followed you on Instagram, so while you was doing time and all that shit, and I heard you say it on one of your songs, you said you had trouble sleeping. You still got trouble sleeping?
No, I'm good, man. I'm sleeping peacefully.
Shit,
feet kicked up. You feel me? All that.
that's what's up. I'm glad to hear that shit. Because if you weren't, I was gonna say, I know you be going on tour with Wiz Khalifa and shit. I wonder if you ever did any of that MMA shit with him.
No, I never do the MMA. I try to work out a little bit, but now I'm fully in my workout duffel. But at that time, I was on some lazy shit around the time we was touring together. But yeah, no, I ain't never tried the MMA.
Because I was gonna tell you, if you was having problems sleeping, that shit have you tired as a motherfucker.
Yeah, hell yeah, they be definitely going hard as hell doing that shit.
So, I mean, I ain't got no point to this, but motherfucking Shane and Day is just one of the most vicious songs I've ever heard of that nature. I don't even know what you would like exactly call that type of song. I guess you just know it when you hear it. I mean, it's kind of like First Day Out in a way, but not really. I mean, it just got that real ass feel. You know what I'm saying? Like that authenticity. So if nothing else, I mean, you can tell me a fact about the song or something. I just want to give you some flowers for how dope that shit is.
Yeah, no, what's crazy is, Chaining it's upper echelon. Like it's like that's one of them things. Like on the record, I just was recently saying, like I had some shit I just made where I was saying like, you might think that I'm trash, but it's usually with the ones with sense. That's usually my fans. Like that's one of them joints that, like, it's them people who got the mindset, the real hustler, the real woman, you know what I'm saying, the real man, the real thinker. Like I feel like that's who that music for. You feel me? It's a Hove sample. Like I said, Hove's one of my favorite, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like one of them type joints. And the crazy thing about it, when I made it, and I write, most of the time I write my music, but I freestyle as well. That was a joint that I just punched in, freestyled it, and did not like it, and just sat on it. Never listened to it, nothing. Literally one day in the car, because I got all my music on this little app. I'll like, play a song I'm trying to play, then the next song might play that just might be in there. And I jumped out the car to go in the gas station, and my homie was with me, Deezlee, who's on the song. And I jumped back in the car, and he like, yo, like, why ain't you never send me this shit right here? Like, I'm like, bro, and once he turned it up, I'm like, I don't really fuck with that. And he was running it back in the car, like, no, run it back real quick. So like right then and there is when I'm like, oh no, this shit is crazy. You feel me? So he's like, man, send me that right now. Like, so I sent it to him, and next day he ran to the studio to go record his verse on it.
Damn,
so then
bro.
Once he recorded his verse, that's why I'm like, oh yeah, no, this shit is crazy. So then after he was playing his, it might have been like, after he sent me his, it was probably like that same day. I'm just listening to some Benny, and I'm just like, man, I gotta get Benny on this shit. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy because I fuck with Benny. I ain't never paid for a verse ever at this time, never. Like, and I got a verse from Tip, Wiz, everybody. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? So I ain't had no relationship with Benny, but I just knew like there's nobody else I could really see right now that could paint the picture that I needed painted on it. So I ended up reaching out to him, and he showed so much love. Like it was crazy to even just shoot a shot, DMing somebody who don't know me from a can. You know what I'm saying? I sent him, and he really was fucking with it heavy. You know what I'm saying? And he showed love. It was damn near free. Like this shit was damn near free. Like, and he fucked with it so much. He's FaceTiming me in the studio. Like, man, listen to this shit. Like, it's crazy, man. Benny was just on the phone 2 days ago, just about, yo, when we shooting the video. Like, so we finna get the video done after Southbound shit.
Nah, from the way, my bad, but the way he was rapping, you could tell sometimes people don't necessarily, I'm not saying that they don't do a good job, but they don't do their best on a feature.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
I mean,
just get it done.
I was trying to be a little more polite, but yeah. but like you, I mean, I can say he put his all in because his all probably ain't ever even happened yet. But he definitely put his foot in that motherfucker, as we say down south.
He put some love in it.
The man, I'm finna invent a word up in this motherfucker because that shit was synchronicitous. I was listening to the Gangsta Grillz joint all day. Matter of fact, congratulations for having a Gangsta Grill. That's an achievement. And I was gonna ask you how you say your man's name again? Deezlee.
Deezlee, yup.
Deezlee. I was gonna ask you who is Deezlee, because he's on like most of them songs, and he was crushing that shit. And more so, who is he? Can you get him on the show? Because I would love to talk to him.
Oh yeah, 100%. And what's crazy is like back in them times where I said, I was selling that dope and all that. This is my right hand man. So we young, we 18. You know what I'm saying? But we really getting some bread. Like we rollies. I got a 745 for my 18th birthday. He got a Benz. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I seen that 2011 video. Yeah, like so. Yeah, like this ain't no cap.
Yeah, so we living like that. So it was crazy when we first start making the music, like around the time that you wrote on. That was like my third video. The 2 videos prior to that is both me and him together. And then we decided to make a tape. So we like, yo, let's just do a tape. Fuck it. Like we're not a group, but we gonna do a lot of shit together, but we got a lot of solo shit. So we're gonna put a tape together, couple joints together, couple of our solos. And it was crazy because we gonna name that shit. We came up with Fame or Feds. We like, listen, we really getting some paper. If we gonna either get famous or we gonna go to the feds. Like, it was crazy. He just came home from a 10-year sentence in the feds. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like our stories really, really played out. And by me catching that case where my man's got shot and killed and I went to jail with them bricks, if I didn't go to jail for that, I would have been on the indictment. And because my points are so high, I would be still in jail. Like, I got friends who are still doing time from the indictment.
Hey, I know what you're talking about, but can you elaborate on what the points mean?
Just like, you catching convictions after convictions, so it raised your point scale. So during sentencing, like, all right, boom, if me and you both get caught with, say, a kilo of heroin or something, and you never been in trouble, like, you get more leisure than me, I automatically, because I done been convicted 2 times, now I'm looking at 15.
Or
this is the standard.
If we both got 2 convictions, but one of ours is violent, the person with the violence can get more.
Yeah, the
points.
violence is looking at more points. Exactly.
Yeah. Or get a gang affiliation, all that shit will get you more time.
All that shit. And so we created that Fame or Feds, and he was home when I caught my case. So when I did get caught with all that dope, before I decided to do the DNA and all that, I literally, the first plan was I was going to pay like a juvenile, like, because we had a bunch of like runners who, run our dope for us, take the cases for us, tote the guns for us. Like, we was really young with, like, we even had people older than us doing this shit for us. So I end up, I knew I was smart, so I knew never to get on a jail phone and talk over it. But I had my attorney come take letters and go show my homie Deezlee and not even give it to him, just let him read what I want him to do. So I had a little homie that was going to take the case for me, and I was going to pay him 10 grand. But one of our other close friends got caught up in the midst of all this on his own time and started wearing a wire on Deezlee. Now I'm saying, which it was spilling over on me because, Deezlee, this is our right-hand man's too. He's telling him like, oh yeah, I got to go get the youngin for Hardo so he could take the case and all this. So now all of a sudden my court hearings is getting pushed back, but they're putting like special DAs on the case. Like, they're even scared my lawyer. My lawyer's like, man, I don't know why we got this DA for your case. Like, this shit is crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
man, yeah, that's wild as
then,
shit.
So then he's just like, they're gonna really press it on the youngin. You know what I'm saying this dope is his. Like, so my lawyers just start getting nervous about me taking that route, and he start convincing me that, listen, if it's not yours, we're doing the DNA thing. Like, let's not even try this, because I kept it real with him. It's not the youngins either, but it ain't mine. You know what I'm saying? So he like, let's not do that, because you do the youngin know how many it was there? Do you know the names of them? Do you know the exact price? Do we know what it was in, what it was wrapped up in? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
is he going to be able to explain when he was in this car? Like, it's just a lot of cross-examining that they're going to be like, oh, he brought him here to do this. You know what I'm saying? And then you end up with some extra charges. So we end up stopping doing that. And I fought it, but the whole time, Deezlee and them was getting wired up on. My phone calls is being very monitored, but I'm never saying that. There's never nothing to place me on their case because I never gave him no proof or nothing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he ended up getting indicted. And I'm saying that he came home. So, that was our reality, Fame or Feds. So we felt soon as I was working on a solo project, he got shot 7 times in his stomach in a club before he went to jail. So he came home on passionate release because of COVID, because he wouldn't really be coming home until next year. So he came home like the same shit Big Meech's brother came home on passionate release. Right. Because the crime ain't violent and you had so much time. And so when he popped up at the crib, I put everything I was doing to the side. It was time to work on Fame or Feds 3 because we already had 1 and 2 out. You know what I'm saying? So
and it was a Gangsta Grill. That's what's up.
Yeah, and we had to go get DJ Drum for the Gangsta Grillz.
Damn, so shit, shout out Deezlee. Man, and then he can get a deal, and then y'all maybe y'all can like make up a little like a Silk Sonic situation where y'all can get like a little one-off group deal. Throw a third person. I mean, y'all can make mad revenue streams like that.
We got so much going on that we are the deal. You feel me?
Word. Nah, I can dig it because like I mean I don't be saying none of this shit. Like if anybody listen to my episodes, they can hear when I talk around people who I don't especially like their music. But I don't say I fuck with somebody's music if I don't. I don't see what's the point of that. Because then my audience ain't gonna respect my opinion. And what's the point of putting shit out that's not respectable?
Yeah, no, that's real shit.
And both y'all went hard as shit on that Fame of Fez. But you know I done took up a mad of your time already. So what's summer 22 looking like?
Man, we blowing up this bottom of the trap. You feel me? They could look out for EP, Richer and Famous, Trapping Forever. Forever Trapping. That's gonna be the next EP. You know, we just running around city to city, man, getting in their face wherever y'all want me at. Let me know. I'll be there.
Shit, I heard that. Hey, stay on real quick afterwards. But what's your socials and what's the best place to find you at?
Y'all can reach me everywhere on socials and any music outlets, whether Spotify, any of that. At Hardo, just HARDO. All my shit'll pop up.
All right, well, shit, brother. I wish you nothing but success in the future, and thank you for your time, man.
My guy.